Hi everyone, Justin here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, an RPG for the Super Nintendo. In Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, you take on the role of a boy on a mountain whose village behind him just disappears. On the mountain, you meet an old man who tells you about a prophecy regarding a tower in the distance. The prophecy states that there are 4 doors in the tower that will be locked by monsters, and only a brave knight can defeat them. Apparently, you are that knight. After he tells you the prophecy, a monster appears. Once you defeat that monster, you are confirmed as being the knight of the prophecy. The mountain starts to crumble and you escape to begin your quest. In Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, you walk around towns and explore environments to get clues to guide you on your way. The overworld map allows travel from area to area. Some of the areas that you can go to are battlegrounds, which are just battles where you fight 10 sets of monsters and get experience points and money. In the areas with monsters, they're on the screen so you can see them before you fight them. You can't really avoid them because they're usually placed right in the way, but you can see them and you can prepare. The monsters reset once you go into the overworld and come back into the area. When in battle, you control yourself, and most of the time there is an ally that you can control optionally. The ally can also be set to auto, where they will just do whatever they think is the best action. High points. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is a lighthearted adventure that doesn't take itself too seriously. The story is easy to follow, and it's hard to get lost for the most part. I also really enjoy the music in this game. The enemies have different sprites depending on how hurt they are, so you can actually see the result of your damage. I also really liked how you could set your ally to manual if you wanted to have full control. The allies felt pretty different from one another, with some being better at magic and others being better at physical attacks. And lastly, you can save just about anywhere, which is something I wish more RPGs of the time let you do. Low points. The story, while lighthearted, is pretty weak. The world map is not great, and I don't love the point-to-point system they use. Not much skill is required to get through the game. You just kind of hit the enemies once or twice with your most powerful weapon, and they're dead. Except for bosses. A lot of times when you complete a dungeon, you have to backtrack through the dungeon to get out, which is kind of annoying. Speaking of dungeons, I felt like most of them were tedious mazes, and fighting the enemies in them didn't feel really fun, it just felt kind of like a chore. Final thoughts. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest takes RPG elements and combines them in a way that kind of forgets about what makes RPGs really special. I read that this game was targeted towards people that kind of shy away from RPGs and children. I let my 6-year-old play to see what he thought, and he did get the hang of it after a little while, but he did comment to me that it felt like he was just pressing one button the entire time. For children, this might be a good gateway game, but for adults, I don't see this really being a game that would encourage them to play other RPGs. That said, due to its simplicity, this would probably make a good cell phone game. That was my review of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Thanks for watching, see you next time.